Hey everyone, it's Mike Turner again here with another tutorial video for disco lighting software. Alright guys, today we're going to talk about something pretty fun. I'm going to start showing you how to use moving head intelligent lights with disco lighting software. And I just first want to start off by saying I've been running lights for about 3 years, and I've used the analog controllers, even the ones with the fun little joystick and everything, and creating intricate scenes with the analog boards to me is still a nightmare. It's still a very lengthy process, and that this software is something that has really opened the doors up for using intelligent lights on my behalf. So anyhow, I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to click on the programming mode. Again, you'll notice from the last time that I created a video, this is still selected, which is another reason why I always hit clear all. So since we're working with some moving heads, I'm actually going to select both my Intimidator Spot 350s, which is an LED moving head by Chauvet. So I've selected them. I'm going to go ahead and hit initialize. So I don't know if you've had a chance to notice what just happened when I did that, but it shows here in a little picture that the shutter is open, that there's no gobos being used or anything. So I'm going to click on the faders tab here to just kind of show you what exactly happened when I hit initialize. So my dimmer went to 100%, my shutter went to open, and my pan and tilt went to center, which means my light is pointing straight down. So again, just to further support that, I'll click on the 3D visualizer, and you'll see that they're pointing straight down. So now I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here, show you kind of how all these little tabs work. So there's a lot of other softwares out there. I've used them all. I'm not going to talk bad about them. Every bit of lighting software makes lighting better. However, where I think this particular software is superior than the others is it gives these really intuitive tabs. And in my opinion, that really makes it user-friendly. So for instance, in the color section here, now again, we're talking about a moving head fixture, so there isn't a whole lot of color blending, or at least not at the level of this fixture. It has a fixed color wheel, so the colors that are available are predefined. So there's no guesswork. It shows me right here what colors are available, and then I get a brief description over here for the type of parts where you can actually select a split color. And for instance here, this is forward color spin. So if I click on it, this little thing here controls the speed at which it's actually spinning. So down here would be a really slow color spin, as to where this would be going super duper duper fast. Okay, so for the sake of creating a show here, I'm just going to click on this cyan. You'll see here that my screen actually indicates that the lights did go to cyan. Now the next thing I will show you is the joystick. So this here is where both of my lights are pointing right now. Both of them are pointing straight in the center. If I right click on my mouse and move it here, both lights will go there. Same thing over here, both lights go there, so on and so forth. So again, if you remember my last video, I showed you how to use the step recorder here if I wanted to create my own sequence. So for instance, if I wanted it to go from here to here to here and then back over to here, I could do that recording this. So very, very, very simple. And at each point, if I wanted to change the color or the gobo or any of those things, I could do that. So that's one thing I wanted to also show you. Another one of the tabs here that's very useful with respect to moving head fixtures is the gobo tab. If you'll notice here, I have a few pictures here that actually show me what the gobo looks like, and then I have some other buttons here that tell me what it's doing, like gobo shake or gobo spin, you know, this, that, and the other. You'll also see over here, if I click on the shutters tab, it gives me buttons that are specific to whether or not it's strobing or any of these things. So in my opinion, this is awesome. Again, I'm not having to figure out at what point do I have to move the fade around to make the light do what I want it to do. Another section over here on the beam. This is a fixture that actually has a prism, and it also has focus. So again, I can click on focus and just move this around without having to try to find the other faders. Rotation here, this has to do with the gobo rotation. Let's see here. Oh, another fun button that you're going to absolutely love when it comes to moving headlights is there's going to be times when you need to do an intricate positioning sequence for your moving headlights, but a large portion of the time you kind of want it to just do a pattern of sorts and just have it repeat it. So with that being said, if you click over here to M effects, what that essentially means is motion effects. And you'll see you have quite the array over here of these little built-in patterns that the software developer has created that are commonly used to make your lights do certain shows. So for instance, a very common one is the figure 8. So I'll just select this. And so if we kind of click over here to the visualizer, I'm opening it up right now. Let's see here. In fact, I will do kind of an isometric side. So what's happening right now is the lights are doing a figure 8. If I want to intensify the speed of this, of course, I can just move this over here. And you see they're doing it very fast. Another thing that I kind of want to show you is if I click on the joystick tab, you can, in fact, I'll put this in the center. And now I'll do that tab. Let's see here, we'll go back to this. Okay, so now we're, as you can see here, I'm doing a figure 8 pattern. So one thing that's kind of neat, I can actually play with the step shift here and have, the pattern itself kind of align or de-align to make it look a little bit more interesting. So one thing I've noticed is that if I do, so for instance, this is a total of 20 steps. If I do 10, it actually does something kind of neat here. They're pretty much direct opposite of each other. So it's almost like using the invert, which will make a light show look pretty professional. Another thing that I wanted to show you, which is absolutely amazing, if you look over here, you'll see that there's a fader over here and a fader over here. What that does is it affects how big this effect is, right? So for instance, if I think that's too big, that's spending way too much time on the ceiling or on the walls and not enough on my dance floor, I can actually do this, and that actually reduces the overall pattern. So if you look over here to my visualizer, now they're spending more time on the floor, right? And if I want to tighten that up even further, doing something like that. Okay, so let's say that this is a pattern that I really like, but again, maybe it's not focused where I need it to be. Well, if you notice this little crosshair right here, that's actually the axis of the figure 8. If I want that to be moved, again, I would right click maybe over here. And notice how it's still doing the same pattern, but in a different area. So if I do this over here, you'll see that they're focusing more in that area over here, so on and so forth. So the reason why I'm going into the detail of showing you this, guys, is you can do something that's relatively generic like a figure 8 and just save it as a scene, and then when you show up to the venue, if you're a mobile lighting engineer or a mobile DJ or whatever it is you're doing, you can actually change the attributes of this specific show in playback to work with the parameters of the venue. So wanted to show you how to do that. That's something that's really, really, really fun. Very, very useful tool. Again, there's a lot of stuff we can do with moving headlights in this software. I'm just going to click on a circle pattern here, and I'll move this over here. So anyhow, I hope that helped you out, guys. I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions. I'll be doing a lot more videos with moving headlights. But again, I just wanted to show you how this worked. So feel free to email me with any questions that you might have, rockermike81@gmail.com. And again, make sure you guys subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.